Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going?
Salutations and good vibrations, family. Welcome to another session of Dissected Soul Family Discussion. This is part 4 of a 7-session topic, and it all comes down to understanding the 7 pillars of a society and how they are used to affect us. We have just completed parts 1 through 3, which covered Number 1, government. Number 2, business. Number 3, entertainment. Number 4, news and media. Number 5, education. Number 6, religion. And today we're covering the last topic and the last part of a 4-part, 7-topic session. And today's topic is family. Before I get started, I'd like to thank my sustaining members, who are the foundation and backbone of the family of the Dissected Kingdom. And I'd like to thank those who are passing through, which are visitors who happen to stumble upon the Dissected Kingdom and what we do here with our cognitive thinking, our decision making, and studying our culture and history. And I would like to thank those new members who've joined and are now part of the Dissected Kingdom, which is not a physical kingdom, it's a mental kingdom. We do not hate anyone, but we love ourselves. Before we get into the topic, make sure you subscribe, share, and like the content to make sure that you receive all new uploaded videos. When subscribing, select the bell so that you are notified when we upload new videos to add to the library of over 100 videos. So as we jump in today's topic, which is family, this is left for last on purpose because this particular topic of family, when dealing with the 7 pillars of a society, is the most pivotal and most important to a community. And this particular topic of family, we have been dealing with a system since its inception has been out to eliminate us as they are the Native Americans. As you look at the progress that has been made since the beginning of our freedom, and yes, the beginning of that freedom was in your own country, your own land, because we were already here with the Native and indigenous Africans that was walking the land before the Europeans. So as they put forth the agenda to have us think that we came from a faraway land, though some did come from a faraway land in the continent of Africa, there are many that were already here and just moved around the country and put on the outer islands and South America. So as they take our native indigenous land and turned it into a land of paper, meaning doctrine, books, religion, and brought forth their deeds to claim ownership of land that was never theirs, people that were never theirs, but they ruled by law on paper. As they constructed and built their institutions, the majority of their laws and their purpose was to control and try to eliminate us because we were the original owners of this land. Those are two parties of Democrat and Republican was at one time one party. They both agreed to the Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion, which states that no African descent, or Native African will rise above any European. And this is still instituted today. And once that was completed, before the 1900s, there was implementation of what was called the Willie Lynch Letter, which was a series of techniques used to separate, break down, and have the people that is implemented on fight against each other by certain categories such as skin shade, hair type, male against female, father against son, mother against daughter. These are the categories they will have, and this is still going on today. Because we don't know our history and what was done to us, and try to interact and change these techniques that are being used on us, we are indirectly and subliminally continuing the cycle which was put on us to have us not to become unified and not understand that we come from a lineage of kings and queens. I chose to have this particular topic last because this is a mental makeup. This is a psychological cycle which we continually not only continue as an adult, but we pass it down to our children. We take everything that is positive and we turn it negative and make it seem as though it's positive by using certain words that they used against us. We use those words as a term of endearment against each other when the only N word we should be using is Nubian. And other examples of words they used against us during the time of captivity is the word dog. They also use the word boy. It is not a coincidence that we take those same words they used against us and use them against each other. This is by design. I also chose the topic of family last because it is affected by all the other 6 industries or societies or pillars, which is the government. We are affected by the government because the government is who institute the laws that affect us to have us act in accordance to their scientific studies and variations of human behavior. So what they see is what they've designed as possibilities for us to perform. The next is business. With business, if we can't unify and grow our industries as one unit, we cannot control our finances or economics to build the areas, cities, and communities we want to build. We will always be looking for them for money, for help, and for jobs. We need to create our own finances and make our own directions with the businesses we have. As Native people, as a tribal people, we need to unify for business and put the money in one particular place. Meaning, a community should build its own finances and work together as one unit to build things together and not fight or compete against each other, which we are doing by the programming they have in us. The third pillar is entertainment. We control nothing in that entertainment business. They control the money, they control the industry, and we're used as a battery until we're no longer needed. We entertain in all the categories such as sports, music, dance, theater, until they have no need for us. So in short, we are their entertainment. Many of us try to buy our own entertainment industries. Only a few are able to get through, like Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. Others who wanted to purchase their own entertainment entities such as Bill Cosby, Byron Allen, and Ice Cube ran into legal situations. And the fourth topic was media and news. Understanding that the communication as a whole to your people about what's going on in the community and your plan and path forward must be communicated across a range of industries, which reaches many different regions of the country so that all can be on the same page, communicated on, so we can move forward with our agenda, moving as we are around the world, unified and becoming one large family. So media is very important into giving a clear and concise message to those across a range of different cultures and different traditions, but all are under the family of being African. So as you can see, setting up community events and setting up community agendas can be very difficult if you don't have control of your own media. The message will get construed and not uniform across the entirety. And this is why media and news is one of the largest problems we have when dealing with our community and our neighborhoods. We are making music and songs all day long, but the message is being controlled because they control the media. The next two pillars and how they affect the family is education and religion. Education is understood to be our primary source of information that should be what lifts us up and keep us informed and educate us about ourselves. But this is also controlled by spoon-feeding us information of what they want us to learn. It is easy for us to learn about their history and their descendants and their ancestors, but when it comes to learning about ourselves, this is a big fat nil, a zero. They teach us about the beginning of slavery and those that were enslaved, but they do not tell us about the indigenous Africans that were here. They don't tell us about our kingdoms and our empires in Africa, such as the Fulani, the Songhai, the Mali Empire, dealing with the kingdom of Egypt, the kingdoms of the Mandinka and Shaka Zulu. They do not tell us about the Moors who controlled Europe for 711 years, and they do not tell us about Mesopotamia and all the indigenous people around the world, such as those in Australia. And they definitely will not tell us about the indigenous Africans in Greece and Rome before the Caucasians arrived. The educational system in America also will not tell you about your black inventors, those who created many of the items we use in America that are still being used today, especially not the input we have when dealing with the GPS, when dealing with the space program called NASA, our world-renowned scientists who help America get into space. They do not want you to know that the celestial and divine beings called the African had a lot to do with America being on the moon. So when you're studying and reading your books dealing with the educational system of America, please keep in mind that you had a great part in making America what it is today. The sixth pillar of today's topic is religion, and this is the most used pillar on our people, which is still magnified today. You would think of people who institute this particular pillar of religion would also believe in its values and adhere to its rules and its commandments. But no. We as a people are more in tune with religion because we are a spiritual people. Religion does not go profound enough to awaken us to understand and teach us our history and culture. This is why spirituality is much preferred by many of our people around the world. We are the creators of spirituality, while the doctrine of religion traps your spirituality in the realm of their words and history. It does not allow you the freedom to understand who you are and where you've come from. It traps you into understanding their history and culture when dealing with religion, when we are a very spiritual people and we rise when dealing with nature and our ancestors, which they forbid you to talk about. Spirituality is a practice that accepts all religions, but all religions rarely accept our spirituality because our spirituality has the key of their origin, as well as understanding that the information we have in our spirituality cannot all fit in a book. Our spirituality has us understanding the laws of nature, the divine order, the divine family, and having you understand that you are a spiritual divine being having a human experience. And this spirituality, which is the key or the ankh, gives you the connection to your inner self that is much more profound than the outer universe. though we seek the understanding of the Creator outside of us, it's easier to understand that the Creator, is deep in us. Understanding this concept give you a profound understanding of yourself and an understanding of the laws of nature and the laws of the universe, which is not man-made. These are creations that cannot be controlled by man, but the understanding of these laws will put you in position to know for a fact that nothing will change in your life until you take responsibility and acknowledge that you are a God with the endowed divinity to make changes in this world. So with these 7 pillars of a society, it gives you the control of your community and of your people. But if you do not have the control of these 7 pillars, you will continually be at the mercy of those instituting the changes, rules, and regulations, so that you can never prosper thoroughly. These 7 pillars, which is government, business, entertainment, media, education, religion, and the last one, which is family, provides the power structure of how a society controls itself, how it grows, what direction it grows, and how the people understand themselves and educate themselves. Without the control of these 7 pillars, that society or people will just be spinning their wheels with no prosperity or direction. As we understand who we are, we see the effect of all these other 6 pillars and how they affect that 7th pillar, which is the family. It gives us a clear view of what we should be looking to maintain and control for ourselves, and not let others dictate or oppress us with these pillars. Many of our problems is because we do not have control of these pillars. And these pillars institute rules, regulations, laws, and systematic processes that control us, direct us, and keep us in a state of confusion in which we think we are in control, but we're being led and programmed and manipulated by these systems. So as you look at the last pillar, which is number 7, which is family, it gives you an idea of the dynamic of the Black family, not only in America, but worldwide. They are looking to separate us by any means necessary. The strong Black man, or the Black man with the masculine attitude dealing with his family and his culture and his people, is looked to be separated from those children and that wife. He's looked to be put incarcerated so that his testosterone is not duplicated by any of his children. He is made to be looked at as the enemy of the world, the destructor, the one who's providing the chaos for what goes on in the world. But if you look at what's going on, it's not the case. It's all manipulated propaganda by the media and the news. He is not given the power structure of others in military or with the government. He is not given the greatest opportunity or equal opportunity in business. He is not in control of his media and news. He is not in control of his education and religion. He is not in control of his family. For him to step back into the proper position of his family's divine order given by the Creator, he must know himself and understand these forces against him, which at the moment we are struggling with. And when dealing with the woman of the Black family, it is given a perspective and idea and an image of a woman of the world, and a woman who has no control of her family, a woman who does not know her straight identity and is living the identity of what is pushed on her through the media and the news, same as the man. The woman is the queen, the princess of the family. She is the backbone and foundation of the family. She is the bridge and connector between the father or the man or the masculine energy, and the children. She is the link of our divine order when it comes to dealing with the family unit, or the original Holy Trinity, which is man, woman, and child. We have forgotten this. She is the keeper of family secrets. The woman is the divine being that holds the family unit. The woman is the divine being who has the sacred source of the family unit. This spiritual source should not be shared with every man every other weekend. The same is with the king, the prince, and his energy. Beings that share their energy with other beings will also transfer their negative energies. As a result, you have many different negative energies of those bodies you have come in contact with. So we must guard our sacred oaths so that we save that energy for those who are special to us and those who are in our like order and mind, especially those who are there for us, given to us by the Creator, or that perfect spiritual twin flame. So the woman is the one who is the spiritual divine greater being who carries our spiritual aura, understanding that nations come from women, understanding that kings and queens are born of women. Our woman must be held in high esteem to the highest pinnacle of understanding and to the greatest human value, because we understand that kingdoms are born of women. But first, she must know her value. She must know her royalty to be set on that pedestal. And last but not least is our children, who are being affected by every single one of these pillars also when dealing with government. They are always in the business of wanting to round up our children and institute them with their business and the direction in which they grow, the information they consume, how they are educated, and keeping them indoctrinated with their religion. Our children know more about their religion and their history than our own history of kings and queens, kingdoms, and golden ages of our history and past. Our different areas of the continent in which we were in, as well as the world. Our children do not know themselves. How can our children see themselves in the world when everything that's in them is not of them? To keep them indoctrinated of the cycle of the current family. So all are active in a power structure that have nothing to do with them controlling their own lives. The man, the father of the family, the king, the prince, is being caught up in the judicial system, incarcerated and being separate from the family and being demonized and looked as the destructor who will apply destruction to the entirety of the world, and taken from his divine place in the order of the family. And the mother, the queen, the princess, is being manipulated and placed as head of her own kingdom and supported by the power structure of the government against the man, the king, the father, the prince, to keep a permanent wedge between the two parents, to cause animosity for generations to infect the children. The original Trinity in Kemet was man, woman, and child. And as you see, this dynamic is not allowed to flourish in these United States. So in conclusion, when dealing with government, business, entertainment, media, education, religion, and the family structure of these 7 pillars and how they affect the black family, you definitely have an understanding now of what and how we're being affected and destroyed when it comes to the black family unit and every single pillar of society that's in the black community is missing the entity of knowledge of self. And without the knowledge of who we are, the powers we have, and our family unit, we are doomed to destruction. Well, thank you for listening to our 4-part, 7-topic session dealing with the 7 pillars of a society and how they affect the black family. Don't forget to subscribe, share, share, and share. And like our content. I am you, and you are me. We are the roots of the tree. I seek righteousness, I see righteousness, and I be righteousness. Family is heaven. Love, peace, and power. Pharaoh J. Dissected.